Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome everyone to JOYRadio, people inspiring people. I'm Pattie Welek, host of JOYRadio. And JOYRadio aims to educate, inspire, and empower. And I am honored today to have Vinko Totic on our show as our guest. And Vinko is a documentary movie maker who graduated in May 2010 from the documentary movie production program at Algonquin College, Ottawa, Canada. As a student, he produced, directed, filmed, and edited 4 short movies presenting and sharing facts, culture and art history of his own native country, Bosnia, and the current one, Canada. And most recently, Vinko has produced his first feature documentary, Mystery of the Bosnian Pyramids. It was filmed in Bosnia and edited in Canada from 2010 to 2012. And also he filmed, directed, edited, and designed the soundtrack for this movie. Presently, Vinko lives and works in Ottawa, Canada. But his other movie titles are Remic Magic, Real People, The Bosnian Pyramids, and The Window. And The Window movie was presented on Radio Canada International for an extended period of time, and the rest of the movies were publicly screened numerous times during movie nights in Ontario, Quebec, and Bosnia. Vinko Totic's website, which I highly recommend for our listeners to please go and visit. It's very interesting, and you need to watch the trailer, which is very informative. That is BosnianPyramids.com. So welcome, Vinko, and thank you so much for joining us today on JOYRadio.
Hi, Pattie. Thank you for such a nice introduction. Just to correct you, the title of the website is Mystery of the BosnianPyramids.com.
Oh, right. I don't know how I messed it up.
It's very close. It's close, and
so it's the mystery. Is it the mystery of the BosnianPyramids.com?
That's right.
Okay.
And beside that, thank you for this opportunity, and thank you to Joy, Joy Blog Talk Radio, and I really appreciate your time and effort to make this happen.
Well, I just think we have a very interesting subject here, and as I said, this is about educating and inspiring people and empowering them, which I believe that your documentary so does do. And so I understand, where you get to the interview right now, that you visited a little town in central Bosnia called
Visoko.
In 2005, and you just were going there on vacation to see a museum. But while you were there, you discovered a pyramid. Can you explain how this happened and how you came to calculate that it was a pyramid?
Well, just a little correction again. I didn't discover pyramids. Dr. Semir Osmanagic, anthropologist, he discovered pyramids. So maybe it was a little bit confusing from the trailer. Maybe you thought that that's my voice, but that's Dr. Osmanagic that discovered pyramids in 2005. Basically, he's well known all around world in the world of archaeology, geology, and the pyramids. He's well known about his numerous books that he wrote specifically about Maya civilizations and pyramids all around the world. So one day, trying to publish and promote his book, he happened to be in Visoko, and somehow that museum where he had a presentation, it's facing really the north side of the pyramid, and to Dr. Sam Osmanagic, it was very obvious because he visited most of pyramids all around the world, and instantly he picked up the compass and he realized that they are matching perfectly cardinal points north-south, and climbing up to the peak of the pyramids, he noticed immediately the other pyramid that is called Pyramid of the Moon, and later by satellite screening and imaging, he figured out that there are 3 more, and potentially 2 more, what would be 7, but right now officially we are talking about 5 pyramids that are called Bosnian Pyramid of Sun, Bosnian Pyramid of Moon, Dragon, Temple of Mother Earth, and Pyramid of Love. So soon after that, he got very excited about that discovery, and he started working on this hard, and naturally he established a foundation, a non-profit foundation called Bosnian Pyramid of Sun Foundation.
And I did misread that whole thing. I thought this was, I was looking at it through the wrong eyes. I was looking at, this was your discovery, this is your documentary. So, as they say, mea culpa, I'm sorry for misconstruing the information, but I understand now. I thought the interesting thing was, so he developed this organization, this nonprofit one, and he had volunteers. Wow, he had a lot of volunteers that came from all over the world. Can you expound a little bit on that, and what was their interest that drew them there, Vinko?
Yes. Just to give you a little, some extra info about the pyramids, the facts. The Pyramid of Sun is 220 meters high, and according to most recent data carbon analysis from Russian scientists in Kiev, sometimes last year in August, it's confirmed that pyramids, the minimum age of the Pyramid of Sun is 24,800 years plus minus 200 years. So it's near 25,000 years. So this number is just really a minimum age, because the organic material they found is on the surface, on the very surface of the side of the Pyramid of Sun. So it doesn't talk really about the time, how long they existed, and how long it took to build it. Pyramid of Moon is 190 meters high, and according to some data carbon analysis, it's 12,000 years old. So that's the kind of 2 main pyramids that foundation is focused talking about excavation and the revelation of the facts that I will talk later. So of course, like at the beginning it was a one-man show talking about Dr. Osmargic, but later he realized that there is much more, and there is enough work for everybody, including scientists, including archaeologists, geologists, including ordinary people who has no experience about anything, but of course they are guided with qualified archaeologists, and so based on that he started the summer camp that attracted thousands and thousands of people so far all around the world. There are no continent that we are not getting volunteers there, ordinary people, but volunteers. When I say volunteer, I'm talking about people who has no knowledge about pyramids, and also I'm talking about scientists, archaeologists, geologists, physicists, and name it. So they're all volunteers, and they're all contributing on their own way, and contributing to Bosnia, to Europe, and to the entire humanity. So it's would be good to mention that there is a huge resistance against this project since the very beginning. Ironically, the biggest paradox is that European Academy of Science is against the project. Then even unfortunately, at the very beginning, I think still is the Bosnian government and the cultural institutions in Bosnia. then mainstream of scientists and some Egyptologists and so on. That's understandable, because Bosnia as a Bosnia doesn't have a good reputation. When you say word Bosnia, people first thing that people bring into their mind is that kind of dogmatic image of, oh, it's the civil war, or it's the trouble, or it's the war criminals. But so there is much more in Bosnia, in our Bosnia, there is much more wisdom, there is much more that people can't even comprehend. Just think about those pyramids that, according to scientists and many archaeologists, the oldest and the greatest pyramids on the world, and they have a potential to be discovery of the century. Also, I have to mention that there is a huge underground network of tunnels that is going tens of miles and interconnecting all those pyramids. Also, it's interesting cardinal points. I don't mean cardinal points. I mentioned already that. It's interesting that all those pyramids meeting the 5 or 7 basic requirements that something could be called or defined as a pyramid. It's matching perfectly cardinal points, north-south. It has geometry. It has a construction material. It has an underground network of tunnels. It has principles of sacred geometry, just to mention that there is a perfect triangle near 2.2 kilometers between pyramid of Sun, Dragon, and the Temple of Mother Earth. So then there is in the tunnel there is a huge concentration of negative ions, up from 20 to 200 times higher than the average location anywhere around the world. Also, what is interesting that there is a there is electromagnetic radiation or beam discovered at the top on the top of the pyramid of Sun. Its radius is 4 meters and strength is 28 kilohertz. What is really interesting is that the strength is getting higher and stronger, moving away from the peak of the pyramids. That is.
Can I stop you for 1 minute on that point, please, Vinko?
Okay.
What does that mean exactly when it is the energy that's being emitted from the top of there is moving away from the top of the Sun pyramid? What does that mean in lay terms for us people that don't completely understand that?
Well, it means something that we are all puzzling right now, not just myself, not just foundation, not just scientists, like everybody, any ordinary human makes you think what that means. It's a really good question. So it means that we are just getting some glimpses, some kind of scattered energy, some kind of signs of what used to be those pyramids in the past. So I'm talking about what they were used for. So according to that energy beam, radiation makes us think that those pyramids used to be as energy machines. So many scientists, especially physicists, trying to correlate that with our Nikola Tesla, that were born only a few hundred kilometers northwest from this complex of the pyramids. So everybody knows what Tesla discovered how long ago, 120 years ago, let's say, and how that was accepted. It is he offered a wireless, cheap, clean way of transferring of energy, and it's free. So many of scientists trying to find the principles of Tesla's discovery, trying to correlate the way the pyramids used to work. So as you know, what's happened to Tesla and how well he was accepted. So unfortunately, whatever has power to progress, to move society forward, people divide. Of course, there is no. For some people, there is no interest, there is no money, there is no profit. So basically, I would say that. So going away from that's talking about that the strength is higher stronger going away from the pyramid make us think, where is it coming from? Is it coming from the universe toward the pyramids, or is it coming from inside of the pyramids toward the cosmos, to the universe? So probably in both ways, and so of course it needs to be examined more, but it's confirmed by 4 scientists from different countries, and the radius is 4 meters and the strength is 28 kilohertz. It's not just there, it's even inside of tunnels around some monoliths. That frequency is discovered, and on the tumulus also.
And well, you have gone into some of the tunnels, which I thought was very, very interesting. Can you feel that energy when you're inside of the tunnel?
Well, just to let you know my own experience, I stepped in first time in 2008. That was first time, and I happened to be visiting my mother in Bosnia, and I heard about Discovery, and I chose my day to go there. That time we didn't have much evidence like today, what I'm talking about. It was more like, lots of suspicious, lots of people think yes, lots of people not. There are no pyramids, there is pyramids. So from my perspective, when I stepped in a tunnel, I felt a tremendous amount of joy and happiness. Almost I could say I felt like a home. So for me, personally talking, it was something huge. I could see something that you cannot comprehend by mind. You have to bring it into your own soul, into your heart, and to kind of pull out some information maybe from our subconscious and notice that there is a blueprint of something huge, something big that will serve not just myself, not just foundation, not Bosnia, not Europe, but the entire humanity. So talking about that, that's my own personal experience. I didn't have a doubt after that second. Since that time, I'm working very hard my own way through the movies, promoting and letting people know about this discovery. Beside that, what is really interesting is that is detected, I mentioned already, huge amount of negative ions that 44 times maybe higher, and so that everybody can feel it. As soon as you step inside of the tunnel, you can breathe, not normally, you can breathe perfectly. People with asthma, people with all kind of weakness, illness, feel much better, much stronger. There is some evidence, Janez Pelko, Dr. Janez Pelko, he measured the aura of people coming inside of the tunnel, staying for 1 hour and measuring the aura after coming out. It was huge increase in the aura, if you know how the aura looks like with healthy person and sick person. So there is so much evidence, and there is kind of meditation, healing rooms around the monoliths, where that concentration of negative ions much higher. So definitely there is.
Has there been any, they're saying to discovery of crystals and stuff like that maybe have not been discovered before? Have they discovered anything like that in this tunnel, in the tunnels at all?
Sorry, I didn't get the question. What's the question?
I said, I've studied crystals and the crystals that come from the earth, and one of the things that has been pointed out is, as we find these new discoveries, there will also be a lot of new crystals that will come forth, or we will discover them because they are important as far as us moving forward with the ascension process, if you want to call it that, or moving forward with life. Has there been discovery of new crystals in the ground and stuff like that too?
Not really. That I'm aware, they discovered many monoliths. Not many. There are 3-4 major size monoliths. They are artificial. They are man-made, and what is interesting, that they're man-made, and they have some inside some weird, strange object that nobody knows what is this. It's kind of based on silicone, I think, and that has the power to transform positive ions that are generated with the 2 underground water currents that are located exactly underneath the monoliths. and they generate positive ions that get transformed with some object inside into negative ions. So there is no evidence of any crystals. There are many artifacts. There are many symbols, arrows, and much more, but not that I am aware. At least I'm not aware of any crystals.
But crystals are actually made of silica. So
Probably, yeah. Maybe you know better about this, but I'm not an expert. But probably it's inside of that monolith that they're puzzling what is transforming that kind of beam of positive ions into negative ions and generating such a huge concentration. Maybe that's it's a good point. Maybe you should pay attention to this.
Yeah. I thought one of the interesting comments, because you do on your trailer interview in the documentary, there is an interview of some of the people and their experience, while they are inside of this tunnel. And what I really loved was, I think the man was from Serbia, and his quote was, and I had to write this down, is, "What is within is without, and what is without must be within."
Yes.
And I love that whole, right there in his sentence, he for me anyway, it seems like he summed up the energy of the discovery of these Bosnian pyramids.
Yes, that's Ljuba from Bor, from Serbia, and he's been there many times. He helped contribute in many years there, and I was lucky to capture him and interview him, and he's a very interesting man. He has a beautiful perspective on life, spirituality, humanity, including the universe and why we are here, and his perspective obviously is encompassing perception of humanity related to the universe, galaxies, name it. There is no separation. We are all one, and he's aware of the illusion, of the illusionary aspect of time and space. So what he's referring, that there is, we have an ego and we have our higher self that are in continuous battle. It's kind of dance in this world of duality, and that you have to deal with. So from that perspective, it's just referring that there is much more than facts, than energy beams, than physicality. There is much more for us to wonder and to master. So it's a beautiful phrase that he stated, and you are not the first one that love that man and his statement.
Yeah, I just was very, very, very moved by his statement. And now, I've got a couple questions, since I need to not be so excited. But we have, there's the discovery of the tunnels that you mentioned that are underneath the Sun Pyramid. Are there tunnels, or have they been discovered underneath any of the other 6 pyramids?
I'm not aware of this. I'm not sure did they scan the rest of, but they really have really so much work. So science, technology, georadars are capable to go down 3,200 meters. So it's much easier to scan it and document it on our screens and laptops than get inside. Of course, pyramids, we still didn't find the entrance to the Pyramid of Sun. The only way is now, as I mentioned, that tunnel that is 2.5 kilometers away from the base of the Pyramid of the Sun. And we are right now near a kilometer. So it's a long journey to get there, and those tunnels, they don't go like from point A to B. They're built like a labyrinth. So they're built to confuse not just who is not supposed to be there. So talking about those tunnels, of course, we are not there. Nobody's there because we still don't know how to get inside but the tunnels, as I mentioned. But the truth is that there is a perfect imagery of underground network of tunnels talking about the pyramid of the sun, that they are going like a spiral from the peak to the base, and they're going at different level, talking about the depth of the pyramid. There is chambers, there is rooms, there is some artifacts they detected, but unfortunately, will take a long time to get in with foundation that is struggling so much right now financially, and with lack of support, especially of the mainstream science and scientists, and it's very difficult to reveal all this. So this is just opportunity for me.
So it's part of your, I'm sorry to interrupt. It's part of your reason for doing this documentary then, Vinko, is it to not only raise awareness, but also to see if you can get funding to further, get into the discovery of what lies behind that. Is that part of your intent of the documentary?
Yes, it is. I am a movie maker first, and I have a little interest for myself, not that much for the movie, to promote movie and to present it wider audience. Since starting from myself, I didn't get any funding. I didn't get any support. I'm talking about technical support. I'm talking about funding. It is just pure labor of love. So there are many people that are working like myself, so hard and without any reward. So from that perspective, I'm happy as long as people go ahead and check the movie, at least the trailer, because it is the most compact source of information and most honest source of information. I didn't present in my movie anything like voiceover. I didn't suggest personally anything. It's all recorded. It's all visible, what people feel, what people talk, what scientists talk. So of course there is on the internet all kind of clips, and on YouTube saying that this is the biggest hoax, that is fraud, and name it. That was especially at the very beginning. But things are changing because we are providing so much scientific evidence. It's all documented. And we have no time anymore to fight those who are against the project. We are moving forward because more and more people realize there is something there is something big. But always in human history, when there is something big, when there is something huge to change our life, to reveal some secrets, people divide, and that is the case with this project, Bosnian Pyramids. And so my wish is that people, as many as people could see the movie, because it's the most honest and most reliable and most compact source of information, and of course that will raise the awareness and create correct perception of what's happening there.
And you mentioned when we spoke earlier that you have gone to different cities where the documentary is being shown, and you are present to answer questions. Are you hoping to expand that territory into different cities and countries, once again to raise awareness?
Thank you for asking this. I'm very active right now in Canada. I had many screenings with my own presence, starting from Ottawa, from Montreal, Toronto, Regina, Vancouver, and many other small cities and towns. Of course, I'm open to everybody, to anybody in Canada and States, Europe, anywhere, all around globe, whoever wants to schedule screening, whoever wish to invite me. I'm open, and I'll be happy to come and to share my own insights, my own perspective as a movie maker, and especially just to let you know that I was born there. I'm only 30 minutes away from the valley of the Bosnian Pyramids. So I'm from there, and I know for those pyramids since I know for myself. I didn't know they are pyramids, but something intuitively was always calling me. So this is my opportunity. to do something for myself, for Bosnia, for humanity, and of course I will be very happy if people invite me personally, or if they order at least DVD, or just, as I said, to raise awareness, because so many people still don't know. And there is so much to digest when I screen movies, and of course after that people have lots of questions. So I'm there to answer my best, and because I'm doing my best, but it's mystery. They've been discovered only 7 years ago, so there is so much to go ahead.
And they can get a hold of you, our listeners, or people that are interested. There's a contact tab on your website. Is that correct?
Yes.
Vinko?
Yes.
Yes, so they can just send you an email or something in order about setting this up. And I hate to say this, Vinko, but this time goes way too fast. And that about wraps it up for today. I just want to thank you so much for being our guest, educating us, and inspiring us with this wonderful mystery of the Bosnian pyramids. And once again, the website for our listeners is the mystery of the Bosnian pyramids.com. And then, let's see, so please visit that. You can see his trailer, and you can also find his contact information. It has been an absolute pleasure, Vinko, having you on the show today. And if there's more discoveries, you need to get back in touch with me, and we need to do another show with you.
Thank you, Pattie. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, and thank you to all listeners who are listening today and in the near future. And I'll be back, and I'm working on my other projects related also to Bosnia, and we'll talk about that later. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you. And so to our guests, thank you once again for tuning in. And this is Pattie Welek, host of JOYRadio, signing off with that contagious children's laughter in love and light to all, and have a joyous day. Again, thank you, Vinko.
Okay, bye.